this reset is going to look like. I've seen a lot of other booktubers do this, and I need my own personal routine to get back on track. I have been dealing with a lot of anxiety and depression. As a lot of you know, if you've been around in this channel, in a matter of 1 year, I lost my dad and my brother, and they were both pretty traumatic. My mom also got diagnosed with cancer, and it's been just really, really rough. And my mental health has suffered, and the wintertime weather did not help. I always do better in the summer when the sun is out. So I'm starting to feel a little bit more like myself. I'm ready to get back at it, get back into a routine in my life, at work, in filming on this channel. So I thought, what better way to start, like to do these goals and to get back on track than to film a reset, because it's kind of a 2-for-1, right? You guys can hold me accountable, and I get to get my work done and show you guys how I do it and what I do and have content for you all. So I thought that I would just go ahead this month and combine my reset and my TBR. I opted to just curate my own TBR as opposed to doing a random generation this month. However, that hasn't gone away. I will bring it back maybe next month or maybe the month after. So I have my little planner here, which I've been much better about using than I have in the past. By the way, I did put pink in my hair, and if you were around, I did it last summer too. It's just fun. I needed a change, and it's temporary. It'll wash out after like several washes, but I just was feeling it. I thought it would be fun, and it did what I wanted it to. So I want to review kind of what my goals were in May as far as my TBR goes, because I did film that for you guys, and then what my goals are for June, and then share with you guys a little bit about, I got to do some planning. I've got to plan what video content I'm going to be making, when I'm going to be posting, and then I have a few really big announcements for you guys. Like, really exciting things are happening this month. I'm so happy about it. Cannot wait to share it with you guys. So stick around. Make sure you stick around. So how I curate my TBR when I'm not doing like a random generation, or even if I am, this is how I kind of keep track of my books. I use Libby all the time. I primarily use Libby. I try to get as many books for free on Libby as I possibly can. However, sometimes they don't carry what I want, and requesting it will take too long, or there's like an obscene hold time on a book that I really want to read. And that's when in the past I've brought in Audible, and now I'm using Libro FM for my audiobooks. However, I have a pretty vast audiobook library on Audible still, because I have purchased and downloaded more books on that app over the years than I've finished reading, like my bookshelf, just like my physical TBR. And so even though I'm no longer subscribing to Audible, I still have a vast library of audiobooks to get through. So I went through all of the books that I have on my Libro FM account available to me. I went through books in Audible knowing I have an idea of some things I wanted to read. And then I checked my Goodreads to see if I finished adding all of my reads to it, because I'm not always consistent about adding it to my log right after I finish. Sometimes if I get really busy, I'll get behind 1 or 2 books. So sure enough, I'm a little behind. So I'm going to update my Goodreads log to make sure that's all up to date. I did a check-in with my goals and kind of what I want to read this month. From all of that, I curated a list of TBRs. It's quite long. This entire list right here are all books I want to read. And there were even more, but you guys, it's a lot of books. It's a lot of books, and I do read a lot of books in a month, but I had to just cut myself off at some point. Some of it is unpredictable, and I may end up picking up books that I didn't even anticipate were coming up, but then they become available and I want to read them. So that is why there is sometimes a difference between my TBR and what I actually end up reading, just like anybody else. I am going to be filming a wrap-up video, and that will go up right after this one this week, so stay tuned for that video. But I did want to quickly just do a quick review of my TBR from last month, and if I'm carrying anything over to this month, so you guys have an idea of what I'm starting with. I had goals last month. I will talk about them in more detail in my wrap-up, but I ended up reading a total of 13 books. I ended up DNFing one book that I think it was a hard DNF. I don't see myself going back to it. As far as how many books I read that were on my TBR that were planned, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I read 7 I had 12 books total. I think I read 7. So not terrible, but not great. Here's what happened. Like, I completely spaced. I didn't even consider what books were coming out as new releases last month. And I was super excited about some of them. So as soon as they became available, if I could get my hands on them, I read them. In fact, I am working on a reading vlog for you guys where I'm doing nothing but reading new release books. There's some really good ones in there. So I'm super, super excited to publish that vlog for you all. But ultimately, I ended up reading like 5 new release books last month and only one of them made it on my TBR. Like, only one of them did I have forethought about. So this month, I'm going to do something a little different. In preparation for my TBR, I am going to look up what new releases are coming out this month so I can anticipate what new releases will come out that I will want to like snag up right away. Let's go take a look at what books are coming out in June, and then I can add what I want to my TBR, and then we will go over my final TBR for June. So we've gone through all of the new releases. I have put a few of them on my list here. Let's go over my final TBR for June. This is just a suggested reading list, okay? It's okay. I don't have to follow it strictly. I'm a mood reader, but this just gives me an idea so I don't miss opportunities to read books like that I forgot about that I had in my library. You guys, I have a goal of reading 1 physical book a month. And then I have like an official goal of reading 6 physical books in the year because I expected myself to not have good proficiency at this. So that was like my hard goal. Guess how many hard, like physical copies of books I've read this year? Let's take a guess. So far, 0. Now, I have started The Handmaid's Tale. I am reading it. I'm about halfway through and I will finish it. However, in starting the book, I then became interested in the TV show, which I'd never watched before. And my boyfriend and I started watching the show. And then that ended up taking up a lot of our time. So a lot of the time that I would be sitting down normally reading a physical book got taken up by watching Handmaid's Tale on the television. So I'd never seen it before. I knew of it. I just wasn't ready to watch it. But we went ahead and started it. I'm in season 2. I think we're pretty close to the end of season 2. We will be progressing. If you watch the show and you're all caught up, please don't spoil anything for me. But just let me know what your thoughts are about the show. And then I will be finishing the book, and then at some point I will give a comparison of what I thought between the book and the show. Although I think the show also includes the Testaments, so I may have to pick that up as well. Then I am also going to finish Lady of Starfire. I've been saying that for 2 months. You guys, what is it? I think that I have this subconscious thing where I'm loving the Lady of Darkness series as a whole, and this is the final book, and it's kind of like I actually have filmed me reading the entire thing. I'm going to have a Lady of Darkness vlog for you all. But I think subconsciously it's like I don't want it to end. And so I keep putting off reading the last book. I don't know why. I don't know why. I do this a lot with final books in a series. Does anybody else do this? I don't know if it's a me thing. I don't know if it's an ADHD thing. I don't know if it's normal, abnormal, but I really am going to try to finish that book and then publish that vlog for you all. Because that's all it's waiting for. Lady of Starfire. Gonna do it. Okay, so I've been waiting to read The Rose Bargain. It finally became available at the library. I'm super excited about it. I do have a physical copy, but again, I don't have time, so audiobooks are my jam right now. If you're new here, hi, I read a lot of audiobooks, or I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Okay, so from what I've heard, this is YA, but I've heard that it doesn't like feel or read super YA. I've heard nothing but good things about it. People's opinions that I trust have rated it very highly. So the main character, Ivy, she is coming out. She's having her debut into society, and the whole kingdom gets a surprise. This debut season, there is going to be a competition for all of the girls that are debuting to win the queen's son's heart. This is the Fae Queen's son, so the prince, the Fae prince. And it sounds like these are classically portrayed Fae, kind of like the Cruel Prince, where they are, sneaky and they kind of screw you over, basically. Anyway, so it looks like she is competing with a bunch of other women to win the prince, but also make a bargain that supposedly is going to help her sister because her sister's in a bad spot. So that's what I know right now. I will let you guys know in my wrap up how it goes. The next book on my list is The Siren by Amelia Hart. And this is a new release that just came out this last month. I'm so excited to read this book because this author also wrote Wayward, which is one of my favorite books. I absolutely loved that book. And this is, I believe this is only her second book. I honestly know nothing about it. I just know that I love this author's writing, that I loved her first book. Sometimes knowing too much or having certain expectations ruins the experience for me, and I don't want this experience to be ruined. I was lucky enough to read Wayward before it really got a lot of praise or hype, or, now I've seen it make the rounds, and I'm super happy for the success, but I'm just grateful that I got to read it before there were a lot of opinions about it, because I had a great experience. And then next, I have on my list Before We Were Strangers. All of these that I'm mentioning right now are from the library. Probably already saw me check them out or saw them on my list. And then I will tell you kind of where I'm getting the rest of these books from as we go. I checked out Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. I know that she's like a pretty well-known contemporary romance author, which I don't read a lot of, but Sarah at Sarah's Cozy Corner, she and I have very, very similar taste in books, and I'm pretty sure she recommended this book. I think she read this book and really enjoyed it. And so I put it on my list and I got it, and I like to have these to read in between the heavier hitting books so that I don't go into a slump. And so I try to intersperse like contemporary fiction, romance, rom-coms in between my historical fictions and my fantasies and all of those that take a lot more brain power. So I have a few of them on my list here specifically for that reason, as kind of palate cleansers between these other books. And then lastly, I have checked out Station 11, which is like a dystopian book. I read her other book called something. You guys, why am I drawing a complete blank? Sea of Tranquility. My brain, I don't know why my brain is not working today. Maybe I need more coffee. I need to drink my coffee. Did you guys see my cute mug with the little pink bows? Like, I'm so in my bow era right now. I want them to stay around forever. I love them. And I've never been like a super girly girl, but something about them, I just love them. I love them, and that's all I have to say. Okay, anyhow, I loved A Sea of Tranquility. She writes kind of sci-fi dystopian. I also read Silver Elite last month, and I want more of that. And so I think I'm in the right mind frame to read this book now. I've had it on my shelf for quite a while. Hair's everywhere. I'm in a shedding season. My hair is like everywhere. Okay, if you've read that book, let me know if you've read it, if you liked it, especially if you're like a fantasy reader. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Okay, and then I went to my holds list to look at what might be coming to me soon, like what is expected to come to me within the next 2 or 3 weeks while we're in the month of June. And so from that list, I added The Heart of the Sun, which is a new Mia Sheridan book, who wrote Words Are Not Wording Today. It'll be here. Mia Sheridan, okay? It's her new release. So that's one of the books that is coming out soon. I'm gonna try to get it from the library. I'm gonna try to snag it right when it comes out, but I may or may not be able to get it in the month of June. So from my holds list, I also added Americana, which I can't remember who recommended this to me, but someone on BookTube recommended it, and I have been craving a lot more like literary fiction type books, which I'm pretty sure that's what this is. So I added it to my list, and it looks like it will be available pretty soon to me. Next, I have Somewhere Beyond the Sea, which is the second book to The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I love TJ Klune. I loved The House on the Cerulean Sea. I've heard mixed reviews about Somewhere Beyond the Sea. It kind of turned me off to reading it. So even though it's been available to me several times, like it keeps coming to me as a hold, and I keep like delaying it. But I think that this time when I get it, I will go ahead and read it. And I'll either read it or I'll DNF it. Like, I don't want to keep putting it off. So if you liked the first book and you read the second book, let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, I want to know. And then I also have on hold The Passengers, which is a thriller that was recommended to me by Sam Reads a Little, and she just loved it. And again, thrillers are kind of palate cleansers for me, like something I can just like binge without my brain breaking. So that looks like it will be coming to me in the month of June, and I'm looking forward to reading that. Then I went ahead and looked at my Libro FM library, which is quite small compared to my Audible library because I just switched over to Libro FM. Shout out to Libro FM for no reason other than I love what they're doing. The cost to do a subscription through them is the same as Audible, only they're an independent company and they support independent authors and independent bookstores. So every time you purchase a book through them, money goes back to independent bookstores. And I love that, rather than a big, giant billion-dollar corporate entity that doesn't need more money from books. So that's why I switched over. I got a couple of extra credits when I signed up as a promotion, and then over Memorial Day weekend, they had a massive sale. I literally got like 6 books that were all like $2 or $3 each. I spent less than $30 with tax, and I think I got 6 books. So I was able to kind of build up my library a little bit. So that's what I was looking at. I've been wanting to read Firefly Lane for a very long time, but I haven't been able to get the audiobook from the library. When I decided to move away from Audible, and so I had no more credits, I couldn't get my hands on it without paying for it full price, which was like $40. But then after I signed up at Libro FM, I decided to use one of my credits to purchase it there. So now that I own it and I have it, I want to read it. So I put that on my TBR. The other book that's on there that I got, and this was one that I bought on the Memorial Day sale. I was really blown away. I think it was like $3.99. I'm pretty sure that Lights Out was $3.99. So I've heard really good things about Lights Out. There's been a lot of talk about it on the Book Talk. Again, I think it'll be a fun, quick read that I can throw in between my heavier books. Okay. And then lastly, from Libro FM, I have Done and Dusted, which is another like romance. I'm pretty sure it was $1.99. Pretty sure I bought that audiobook for $1.99. And I don't think I'm a Western romance girly, but for $1.99, I am willing to give it a try because I know a lot of people love Lila Sage's books. I'm pretty sure that's the author's name. I am always looking for like those quick palate cleansers. Although I feel like I'm saying a lot of palate cleansers on here, but don't worry. I have heavier hitting books coming up. They're coming up. So those are all my books from Libro FM. Next, I went to my Audible library, like I said, that has been building up for a while. I picked some books from my shelves there. The first announcement I have, this is the perfect time to tell you all. I decided to move my ASMR content to a second channel. So I know a lot of you are here because you like my book content and my vlogs. A lot of you are here because you like my ASMR. Some of you are here because you like both. But the algorithm on YouTube is not loving that I'm posting both book content and ASMR content, even though it's bookish. I think it's really confusing for people. I think it will just simplify it for everyone to have my ASMR content on its own channel. So I will leave the link down below in the description box. If you like ASMR, especially if you like bookish ASMR, it won't be all book content, but I'm a bookish girl. I live a bookish life. And so my ASMR content will contain a lot of bookish type content, but it will not be limited to only books. So if that interests you, go give me a follow. If you are here because you like my TBRs, my reading vlogs, you're in the right place. Stick around, okay? You don't need to do anything. My very first video that I posted on that channel is an unboxing of Creatures of Chaos by Julie Hall. I will put a picture here because the book is absolutely stunning. So gorgeous. This is her special exclusive edition, indie published. And if you want to see the unboxing, go check out the ASMR video because it's worth it. It's worth it even if you don't like ASMR. It's so beautiful. It's definitely worth looking at. And so even though I have the beautiful hardcover book, after opening it up and looking at it, I got really excited about reading it. So I went ahead and downloaded the audiobook. I still have Kindle Unlimited to support indie authors because it's primarily indie authors that are on Kindle Unlimited. And then because I'm on Kindle Unlimited, I still get access to especially indie published audiobooks as like a companion to the ebook. And so I can often get them like deeply discounted. And so that is how I was able to purchase Creatures of Chaos. I am definitely going to be reading that book this month because I'm looking at the book on my shelf right now. It's so beautiful, and now I need to read it. It caught my attention. I need to know. I need to know what this book is all about. And then I've had for a very long time in my library Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, which is the next duology in the Boys of Tolman series. Last year I read Binding 13 and Keeping 13. I did not expect to love them, but I loved them. That was a 5-star duology for me. Took me by complete surprise. I thought because it was a contemporary romance, I was going to be reading a fluff book. It is not fluff, you guys. Chloe Walsh holds no punches. That book broke my heart and then put it back together. But my gosh, yes, she knows how to tear me up. So given the life circumstances, my depression, my grief, I have been avoiding reading any more of her books because I just was afraid that it would put me in a tailspin depression. So she just released her newest book, which I think is the last book. I think it's her last book in the Boys of Tolman series. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's releasing 10, but I'm not ready to read that one yet because I still need to read Saving 6, Redeeming 6, and then there's Taming 7, and then I think it's releasing 10, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes, but don't bet on me. I've been hearing everybody read and review releasing 10. They've been loving it. I mean, like bawling their eyes out loving it. Like bawling their eyes out, it makes them feel so deeply. The characters feel like real people, which some authors just have a talent for that. And I think Chloe Walsh is one of them. So I'm feeling a little FOMO, and I was like, I need to get caught up on that series. And now that it's summertime and the sun is out, my mental health is doing better, and I like to read dark books or books that I fear will put me in a depression or make me sad in the summertime, which feels counterintuitive. But for me, it is compensation. I can read the dark books in the summer when the sun is out and it's bright and I'm at my happiest. I don't know. I am a seasonal reader, and I do also like to read like beachy summer books. But historically, I have also read some really hard-hitting books. Like I read Binding 13 and Keeping 13 at the end of last summer, and I just think now is the time because I read the sad book, I'm in the sad world, and then I come back to real life and it's summer and the sun is out, and I love summer. It is my favorite season. I freaking love summer like so much. I was meant to live somewhere where the sun is out year round. I don't know why I live where I live. It's not the best for my mental health. That is more information than you needed. Let's move on to the next picks. I realized my mistake last month of not anticipating new releases, and then the new releases coming out and me desperately wanting to read them and completely disregarding my TBR to do so. This time I'm going to be smart about it. And so we went ahead and looked at the new releases, and now I'm prepared. I know what books are coming out that I will absolutely want to pick up as soon as possible. So I put them on my TBR. Whether or not I'm able to actually get my hands on them right when they come out is a completely different story. It's kind of a crapshoot trying to get a new release from the library. If you're not there like right when it notifies you and you don't get on immediately, and other people are notified and they get on, sometimes the line can get very long, very fast. These are what I hope to read, but it may not be feasible if I can't get my hands on it. And then based on what I can get from the library, I will also decide, based on the priority of what I want to read, if I'm going to choose to use one of my like Libra FM credits or buy it if it's on sale. We'll just have to see. From the new release list for June, here's what I added to my TBR. First of all, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. She is an auto-buy author for me. I don't think I've ever rated a book of hers under 4 stars. I absolutely love her. I think she's just getting better and better with time. And it's been a while since she released a book. Her last book was Carrie Soto is Back, and I'm pretty sure that was more than 2 years ago. I didn't read it until last year, but I think it's been around for a couple of years. This comes out on June 3rd, and I couldn't be more excited. I'm going to be buddy reading this with some friends, and so if I can't immediately check it out from the library, I will absolutely be buying the audiobook or using one of my credits. So next from the new release is The Enchanted Greenhouse, which is the sequel to The Spell Shop. I've learned about myself that I don't love cozy fantasy, but every once in a while one comes along that just resonates with me. The Spell Shop I picked up before I realized that it was a cozy fantasy and before I realized that I'm just not a cozy fantasy kind of girl. But for whatever reason, I loved that one. I loved The Spell Shop. It's like the exception to the rule. So I'm going to trust this author and I'm going to pick up the sequel, which is The Enchanted Greenhouse. And I hope that I love it as much as I loved the first book. But going forward, I do not intend to pick up any more cozy fantasies unless people I really trust recommend it to me. And then I put a bunch of contingency books that I absolutely don't know if I will be able to get my hands on them, but they are not ones that I will buy. Let's go over some new releases that I am looking forward to in June. The first one is Caught Up, which is the sequel to Lights Out, which I do have on my TBR. So we'll see. If I can get my hands on it, great. And I finished Lights Out, great. If not, I'll get to it when I get to it. That comes out, by the way, June 10th. The next one on my list is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Sand? Something? I know it's something. We Bury Our Bones something by V.E. Schwab. I love V.E. Schwab, but I still have a lot of other books from her on my TBR. I'm not in a huge hurry right now. She has a very distinct style, and right now I'm not in the mood for it. I can just tell that I'm not in the mood for it. But I do love her work. I love her writing. I actually met her. I went to like a Meet the Writer event where she talked about writing, and I really enjoyed it. I learned so much from her. I really like her. I've loved the books of hers that I have read, just not in the mood. You guys, I don't have to give a TED Talk about everyone. Like, I don't know what my deal is. I just love to yap. Okay, that also comes out on June 10th. Next is Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. That comes out on the 17th of June, and I feel excited for this book. I loved The 7-Year Slip. I really liked The Dead Romantics. The Dead Romantic? I can't remember names. Today, words, it's not working. Words and my brain are not doing well together, which is really difficult when you are a booktuber. Okay, I ended up DNFing her last book. I couldn't. I read like 30 or 40% and I couldn't. And I don't think I'll go back to it. So now I kind of feel neutral about this release. If I can get my hands on it, great, but I'm not going to spend money on it. And I'm going to kind of see what people say. I want to see the reviews on it before I get too excited about it. Next on my list is The Poppy Fields by Nikki Ehrlich. That also comes out on the 17th of June. And I am very excited about this one, and I may consider buying it, possibly. It will kind of depend on how I'm doing with my TBR at that point in the month, because this is later in the month. Most people who have read The Measure that I know either loved it or they were very disappointed by it. I fall into the former category. I loved The Measure. I loved it. I bawled my eyes out at the end of that book. It's so good, in my opinion. So I'm very excited for her next book. I'm pretty sure The Measure was her debut, so I think this is her second book, and it is called The Poppy Fields. So excited for this book to come out. Water break. Does anybody else forget to breathe when they're talking? Because I do. I get really excited about things, and I talk, and I start talking really fast, and I stop breathing, and then my body makes me yawn so that I will get some oxygen to my brain. Just me? Okay. Anyhow, I'm very excited about The Poppy Fields. That comes out on the 17th. And then The Stolen Life of someone, some girl's name, because I'm the absolute worst with names of books. Not with names of people. I'm really good with names of people. I'm terrible about names of books. The Stolen Life of Colette Marceau by Kristen Harmel. She writes historical fiction, and I love her. She's one of my favorite historical fiction novelists. Some of my favorites of her books are The Book of Lost Names, The Winemaker's Wife. There's one with Forest in the title. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, I have loved all of her books. I think I've given them all 4.5 or 5 stars. I still think about all of her books, even the one that I didn't rate 5 stars. So I am really excited about this book coming out, but I couldn't figure out when it is coming out. Oh, it's also due to come out on June 17th, as well as the audiobook. Because sometimes the audiobooks don't come out on the same date as the physical book. So I'm going to write that down here for myself. I used to read historical fiction exclusively, and now I am in my fantasy era, so I'm not as obsessed with getting my hands on those historical fiction books right away. Okay, so all in all, I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You guys have 20 books on my TBR. That's a little excessive. I don't know if I've ever read 20 books in a month. I think the most I've read in a month is 19, maybe. Because the final book that I want to tell you about is the physical book that I'm adding to my TBR. And this goes with my last announcement, which is I'm starting a book club. So Kara and I from Kara's Books, I will put her here. You've probably seen me mention her before on my channel. Go check out her channel. She's fabulous. she and I decided that we're going to co-host a book club where we read the more serious, more hard-hitting books. Our first book is going to be a fantasy book, but our next book is going to be a literary fiction book. And so there will be an array of genres that we pick. But what they all have in common is that we are going to be discussing the political and social messages that the authors are sending through these books. I know a lot of times readers read for escapism. And if you read exclusively for escapism, then this may not be the book club for you. But I really hope that everyone will give it a shot. I think we have some really unique takes on the books that we're going to be reading. And in addition to the book club, which you will be able to join on Fable, the link will be down below, Kara and I are also going to be doing a podcast on these books. So if you want to be a part of our community, join us on Fable. You can read the book with us and, with everyone else who's reading the book. We'll be having discussions in our book club. And then at the end of the month, we will be taking some of those points and those discussions. And Kara and I are going to sit down and we're going to talk about them. And then we're going to share our conversation with you guys. So I'm really excited about this new venture. If you have been thinking about joining a book club, or you like to examine the books you're reading and kind of draw those parallels to the real world and to your real life, then check it out. The first book that we are going to be reading for June is Blood Over Brighthaven. Now, you may have seen, or you will see in my wrap-up, that I've already read the book. So in preparation for this book club, Kara and I read the book, studied the book, and talked about the book, and decided that this is what we wanted to have as our first book club pick. And so we're super excited to share our thoughts with you guys. So if you want to be a part of our club, join below, and then make sure that you pick up Blood Over Brighthaven in June, and then stay tuned for our podcast at the end of the month. That's my really exciting news. So many opportunities in June. I am really looking forward to it. Okay, lastly, let's go through my content schedule and my personal goals. How this is going to work going forward with my two channels is I'm planning on posting at least twice a month on the ASMR channel. I may ramp that up once I get going. We'll see how it goes. But this book channel is my priority. This is what got me started. This is what I'm really passionate about. So my plan is to post 4 videos a month on this platform. It may not be exactly one a week, but all in all, you're gonna get 4 videos. It just kind of depends on how the month falls. Let me know if you like this reset video, if this is something you want to see going forward, if you like combining my goals with TBR and then kind of looking at like what new releases are coming out, then I will make this a regular thing. If you prefer just the TBR video, also let me know down below, because I definitely want to make videos that you guys want to watch and that are valuable to you. So I really respect your time and attention, and for those of you who have been patiently waiting for me to get back on the wagon, so appreciate you. It has been a really rough year. June is actually my 1-year YouTube anniversary, but it didn't go as planned. I wasn't able to give as much and build as much as I wanted to on this channel in this first year, but I am so proud of the work that I have done. I'm so proud of the community that I've built here. Everyone that is here is just amazing and so supportive. I really, really appreciate you. And now that I am getting back to myself and getting back to my life, I hope to provide a lot more content and value on this channel in my second year. And I have big goals and really exciting things coming. Thank you for being here. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Just stop what you're doing right now, hit the like button, and then hit subscribe and become a part of our community. We would love to have you. I'm just so happy that you're here. Okay, personal goals. I'm trying to really be gentle with myself because I am just starting to get back to normal. And if you know anything about depression, it is functionally debilitating. I was in a debilitating depression for about 4 or 5 months over the winter, and I still have a degree of depression, but I am no longer debilitated by it. I am starting to function. I'm starting to get back to normal. But I want to set realistic goals for myself because I don't want to get overwhelmed, and I don't want to feel disappointed in myself if I, put the bar too high and it's out of reach. So obviously I have content goals for my channels. I'm starting a book club, so I have goals there, a book club, and a podcast. So that's already a lot that I'm putting on my plate for the month of June. But I did a little check-in on my Goodreads goal. Listen, my Goodreads goal is really just for me, and it's just mainly because I like the system that Goodreads uses when you've set a goal of being able to look at your goal and immediately see all of the books that you've read and in the order you've read them. For me, it's just a much easier way of looking at what I've read at a glance. And so that's really the only reason I set a goal, okay? But I wanted to see how I'm doing with my reading goal this year compared to when I didn't have a YouTube channel, because obviously creating content, editing it, all of that takes a lot of time. That is time that I would normally be reading or listening to books, but I can't do that while I'm filming. And so just kept my goal exactly the same, and I wanted to see how that was stacking up. Amazingly, I'm pretty much right on track for meeting my goal, and I haven't really slowed down at all, even though I've been depressed and even though I have been making content. So I have a goal for this year of reading 150 books, like audiobooks, listening to 150 books. And then I added 6 more because I have the goal of reading those physical books. And I already started out not having faith in myself, thinking, oh, I'll try to read one a month and I'll be happy if I read 50% of my goal. But we are almost 50% of the way through the year and I've read 0. And so now if I want to meet my goal, I basically have to be 100% for the rest of the year. We will see. So Goodreads doesn't let me separate it out like that, but altogether, my goal was to read 156 books. And last year it was 150. So all I did was tack on the extra 6 that are my physical reads. And as of the end of June, I will have read 62 books. So June, even though it's the 6th month, we haven't completed 6 months. So the 50% mark of the year is actually at the end of June. And so I wanted to see if I would be on track to hit 50% of my goal by the end of June. And it looks like I will easily be able to make it because I only have to read 13 books in the month of June to be on track. And I routinely read between 10 and 15 books every month. So 13 will be a very doable goal. And again, I'm not strict about it. It's just kind of fun for me, and it just kind of gives me an idea how much I'm reading every month, and also like how to plan my TBRs and what's realistic for me. So mainly it's just like a feedback system for myself. My next goal, now that I'm finally out of my black hole and not wanting to sleep all the time and stay in my bed and stay in my sweats and never go anywhere or do anything, I would like to get back to exercising and getting back in shape, especially for summer. With my depression, I've also kind of not been eating the healthiest, So I want to get back to eating healthy. And when I'm working out and I'm feeling my body become active and, that feeling of like being sore and that feeling when you're working out, you just know like when you're regularly working out, how you can just feel it in your body. I'm going to be a lot more motivated to eat healthy as well, because I'm not going to want to undo the results that I'm getting at the gym by eating like crap, right? So that will just come naturally for me. What I also need to be better about is drinking enough water, and that is like essential for health. It is essential for weight loss. It is essential for so many things. So I'm in menopause, if you weren't already aware. I had to have a hysterectomy a couple of years ago, which put me into early menopause. So because of that, I've never dealt with this in my life, but having dry skin, dry mouth, dry eyes, dry hair, those are all symptoms, really common symptoms of perimenopause and menopause. It took me a long time to figure out that's what was happening to me, but I indeed deal with very dry skin now, which I've never had before, dry hair, dry eyes. My eyes have been extremely dry. And so, in fact, I have to see an eye doctor more frequently and have a special procedure done all the time to keep my eyes from really drying out, because it's on the severe end and I have to do eye drops every day and it's a whole thing. But it would be helpful if I could drink my water and hydrate myself also from the inside out. And literally, when I was depressed, the work that it would take to go and fill up my tumbler, for reference, I live in a 2-story home. The bedrooms are on the top floor, kitchen and living spaces on the bottom. And so filling up my tumbler, I fill it up downstairs in the kitchen where my water filter is and where I have ice. But then I spend a lot of my day on the upper floor because my office is also upstairs and I work upstairs. So the work of taking my drink tumbler downstairs, filling it up with ice water, and then going back upstairs. That sounds like nothing, but when you're super depressed and can barely get out of bed, doing that is a huge effort. It's a huge effort. I stopped doing it and subsequently stopped drinking water, which only exacerbated my menopause symptoms. So now that we are in summertime and the heat is out and I'm going to be sweating and working out, I really need to make sure I drink my water. My goal is to drink 2 of these a day, which is 40 ounces. So that's 80 ounces. I'm likely getting other fluids on top of these 80 ounces, but if I can drink 80 ounces, I will be doing very well. That would be very good. So that is a goal for me. Completely doable. I just need to do it and get back in the habit of doing it. And then lastly, I have a personal goal of cleaning out my girls' room. I have 2 little girls that share a room. They are so messy. They are young. They're terrible about cleaning up after themselves. And their room just really needs cleaned up. I need to declutter. I need to go through their toys and, donate the things they don't really use anymore. I need to get out their summer clothing. I need to get rid of all the clothes that are too small for them now. That kind of thing. So basically their room needs a reset, and that is my goal for June, is to get that done. And so those are my goals. So you guys will hold me accountable. And as I'm filming this month, and especially while I'm making vlogs, I will try to record some of these personal goals that I'm doing, like maybe record while I'm working out, record me filling up my water bottles, what I'm eating, let me know if you want to see those kinds of things, but I think it'll help hold me accountable, and maybe it's something that we can do together. So if you've made it this far, please tell me in the comments below, what is one book you want to read in the month of June, and what is one goal you have for yourself, whether it's professional or personal, in the month of June. Again, please check the description box. Join our book club over on Fable. It is free. We're going to have a lot of exclusive content over there. More information will be coming. Also go follow us on Instagram. My Bookstagram is also linked down below. And then make sure you go follow me over on my second channel for ASMR. Let me know what you thought about this video. I'm really looking forward to June. I really feel like it is going to be a reset month for me, and kind of like a reset year for me. The feeling that people get in January when they're starting a new year and have all those goals, that is what I'm feeling right now in the month of June, because I'm just finally able to function and make these goals. The sun has moved and now my window is reflecting on me. Anyhow, I love you guys all so much, and I'm so grateful that you're here, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Said